So, how was it easy to get this interview, Jose? I mean,
Actually, we are always in touch with Arul. We ask him things, what we hear in the market. And this one was, I think he wanted to clarify certain things. So we met up with him for breakfast.
I see.
Yeah, he was his usual self, a bit more stressed than usual maybe.
How was he, before when you first met him in January and compared to now? Is he more relaxed?
No. In January, when I met up with him, he was, you can say, sort of very sure of himself, very cocksure, But this time he looked tired, and we actually asked him, how come he looks tired? He said, yeah, he's tired. But I think it's politics that's getting to him probably, because he's a very capable, he's a smart guy, he's a capable fellow like any job after a while, I think the outside elements maybe kachawing or what
I see. So this story, right? What was important this time around? This story, we heard something about grace period coming in this Monday or something.
Yeah, today But that's not it. You see, the fear is the cross default, which he explains, because there's if we default on this, all the bonds get called and you have to pay. So he actually explains that no, there's no real problem They have the funds, so it's not like the end of the world for 1MDB or anything like that. They are. I think they played it quite well. Their strategy has been quite all right.
But so far, today, how does the outlook for that default to trigger today?
From what I heard, I think we ran a story on the Daily, they've already approached bondholders. No decision yet. But from what he says, the three bonds, there's one 800 million with SOXO. That's RM. So SOXO is quite, how do you say, can talk, can cerita, SOXO. Then there's a 2.4 billion. That one is with Bandar Malaysia, but that sort of shifted to the new owners, Lim Kang Ho's IWH and also China Railway. Yeah. Then there's the other one. Let me see, 5 billion sukuk. That one it's ringgit, so it's mostly local bondholders So again, you can cerita,
Right.
So
okay.
there's no real issue of a cross default That's what he was trying to say
I see. And then he was also saying is there an element of fraud? You asked him that question, right, during the interview?
Yeah. He said it before. That's the worst case scenario best case is just in the Middle East. The two guys whack some money or whatever, and that's it. But worst case, that means fellows here are also involved
I see. Yeah. Okay. So, but any actions taken? Are they planning for that?
No, I think it's still ongoing and he won't say. But he said worst case scenario, it involves here as well.
I see. Okay. And then for the outlook, right? What does he plan for the company basically? This he said his job is not quite done yet. What is not done yet besides the bond?
I think now this investigations But otherwise he sold off the main assets already. But they've got some land in Aihitam and all, but those are all small parcels you can easily hive off The big one was Edra.
Right.
That one they've sold off most of it. Then the land, they've sold off a chunk of it as well. Right. So I think most of it is done. Just the small things to tie up
I see. And then negotiations still going on, right? Will there be government to government involved?
Yeah. It's actually like a poker game
Yeah.
But if you go to IPIC's financial statements, 2012 I saw, 2015 as well I saw, they do mention that they are aware of this thing, this 3 billion, 3.5 billion that they are guaranteeing. So they should have been aware of the mode of payment as well. So takkan you know. So you should know how it's going to be paid as well.
I see. Okay. But then the payment rule. As mentioned, there was also filing in the stock exchange in London, right, by IPIC and all that.
But that is also very odd. They defaulted in December last year. Why only now? And according to what Arul said, they were very sure that the BV company they paid money to was owned by IPIC. It's not like they'll it's a lot of money Takkan you want to pay and then they are not owned
Yes, correct.
So we believe they would have done the necessary before they paid
I see. Then the 25% exposure for this, how would that be affecting them?
That I think you're talking about where they had to put a lot of money up front. That is because he said because of 1MDB itself they're not a very strong company. That time no proper cash flow, and paid up is 1 million or something like that. So it's not a very strong position. That's why IPIC could ask for such stringent terms. Yeah, that's what he explained. Because earlier there was also a question we highlighted. I said, why are you doing this? Everything seems against you. But what he explained was because 1MDB wasn't very strong footing.
I see.
That's why they had to do that.
I see. And then, of course, the other details you can get it from the paper. But the last question is, you mentioned something, during the interview, there was something about him being called liar by the media and so on. What was his response to that? How was he adapting to it all?
We had written, because some of the things he said didn't tally with what the PAC report was. So we actually asked him that. And he's usually very forthcoming. He'll tell you to your face what he thinks. And he said, he wasn't happy with what we wrote. And we used the PAC report to say he's lying. But most of what the PAC report has, it seems he gave them.
I see.
You see, he gave the information. So that's why he was quite unhappy.
For more on the story, pick up a copy of The Edge Weekly at all good newsstands.